Mike Moore Media.
Welcome to our monthly podcast with the Rockingham County Board of Elections. This is the 7th in a series. Paula Seamster, Director of the Rockingham County Board of Elections, in our studios today. Welcome back, Paula.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Well, we're getting closer. Election Day coming up, so we're going to be talking about that and some last-minute things. But let's jump right into early voting, one-stop voting. The number is a little bit lower than maybe we had hoped, but that's got about another week on that for people that want to vote early.
Yes, we started last Thursday on October the 19th, and early voting will run through next Saturday, November the 4th, and we're hoping that more municipal voters will show up.
Yeah, and they can come to the Board of Elections office in Wentworth for that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's 8 to 5 weekdays?
8 to 5 weekdays. The only Saturday that we are open is the very last Saturday, which is November the 4th. But we are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We do not close for lunch. We're there from 8 to 5.
Yeah, you don't even take a lunch break.
Most of the time, no, sir.
Okay, all right. So that early voting continues, and that's a good way to go ahead and get in and get that taken care of so you don't, maybe you have other obligations on Election Day and things like that. It makes life a little bit easier sometimes.
That is correct.
Yeah. How many precincts do we have in Rockingham County?
We have 15 precincts,
Okay.
but we're only going to utilize 9 for the municipal election.
Okay, all right. And we can get more information if we go to the website, and tell us where we can find that.
You'll go to www.rockinghamcountync.gov, and then you'll click on the Board of Elections website, well, that page, which is under departments. And anything about elections you will find there. There are tabs to the left-hand side that are quick tabs that you can go straight to. Most of the information for the municipal election is actually on our homepage there. But if you want to just click on the one-stop early voting, you can click there. If you want to know some information about the ballots, that's on our main page. If you want to know about candidate filing, when that was and when the next candidate filing is going to be, you can click on candidate filing. But anything you need to know, you can find it there, or you can call our office at 336-342-8107.
Okay. Your folks are there to answer any questions at all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Or they can send an email to us.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually looking on my phone here, and I'm on your website. Again, you can go to it's rockinghamcountync.gov. Click on the little menu there at the top left, Departments, and scroll down just a couple ones there, and there's Board of Elections. This is such a good resource, such a good tool, and I refer to it regularly, and everyone should if they have any questions at all, or just call your office. But I'm looking at these sample ballots. So if someone needs to know a little bit more about who's in the race, there it is, right? There's the ballot.
It is there. And also, if they come to our office and they walk in, that is the very first station. The greeter station is there. And we have copies of the sample ballots. The electioneers are there. A lot of the candidates are there. So if they want to ask them questions, they can ask right there, one-on-one.
Okay, one-on-one right there at Rockingham County Board of Elections. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about absentee ballots, because you posted something recently, just this week, I guess, early in the week, about that. Some people had some questions, so let's go over that, because you have these meetings, and sometimes you don't have a meeting. What's that all about?
Okay. General statutes require that we start our absentee board meetings 5 weeks before Election Day. Those dates are given to us by the State Board of Elections. They're usually held on Tuesdays. Our meetings are held at 5 o'clock p.m. every Tuesday, starting the 5th Tuesday before election morning. Our very first meeting this year was actually scheduled for Tuesday, October the 3rd. Well, of course, that meeting was going to be canceled because we didn't start mailing out our absentee ballots until Friday, October the 6th. And then once every Tuesday after October the 3rd, we're required to have an absentee board meeting. Well, we've canceled every meeting so far because we have not received any absentee ballots. The only reason to hold an absentee board meeting is to review absentee ballots.
Right. I get the message.
So we've had the question, we've had a lot of citizens concerned why we scheduled those meetings and why we canceled them. We schedule them because it's required, and we cancel them because we have not received any ballots back.
Yeah.
We have mailed ballots out. It has been very slow. We've only received very few absentee ballot requests, but as we're receiving them, they're being sent out. We have received a lot of requests for individuals that have not been in a municipality. They don't live in the city limits or the town limits. So we can't mail out ballots to those individuals. We've had a lot of people show up at the office wanting to vote during this election that are not living in municipalities, so we've had to let them know that as well. But if you are a resident of a municipality, please come out and vote either during one-stop early voting or election day.
Thank you for that information. And I think someone should have asked someone in Raleigh, when you made this calendar, this was not going to work that first meeting at least.
Yeah. Well, it's just the way it fell.
Yeah,
but,
right.
When you have the general statutes, you have to follow those, even if it doesn't meet the other required dates.
Sure. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay. Let's do one more thing on absentee, because I see one here scheduled. I'm looking at your calendar here. So you've got the last one on Monday, November 6th. So I guess that one, you'll have that one scheduled if you have absentee ballots.
If we have absentee ballots, and we'll also have one election day.
Right, I see that, yeah.
So we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to get their ballots in, and we'll, like I said, we'll have the absentee ballot board meeting on the 7th, and we will do it again on Monday, November the 13th, because we'll be doing provisional ballots. And if we have received any absentee ballots that were postmarked by Election Day and received in our office, then we will also have our board to review them on November the 13th.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you've got it all covered. So everybody has an opportunity to vote.
Yes.
And the absentee ballots are out there, and that opportunity there, and then the early voting that's going on now for about another week or so. So there's no excuse. I don't believe.
No, sir.
Yeah. And what about, how's it going with the new voter ID?
That is going very well. Everyone that has came into our office has had the correct form or forms of photo IDs. We have not had to do provisional ballots, so that's been great. Most of the time when the people walk in, they have their photo ID already out, or the greeter will actually remind them that the photo IDs are required, and they have them ready before they actually get to the check-in station. Good for them. So that word's gotten out. It has gotten out, and everyone has been prepared.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, so when you go for early voting, got to have that, and then when we go on election day, you've got to have that voter ID.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and by a photo ID, what can we use that day?
You can use your North Carolina driver's license. actually have the capacity to print you a photo ID. If you want to come by our office, we can do that until the end of the one-stop early voting. So if you're a registered voter in Rockingham County and do not have a photo ID, you can come by our office. We can print you one up. If you are not a registered voter and you plan to register to vote, you will need to bring some type of documentation to prove that you are a resident of North Carolina and Rockingham County, whether that is a utility bill, a paycheck stub, something to prove you are a resident. And what we can do then is we can take your photo for the photo ID, but we will have to go through the verification process of mailing out the voter ID or voter registration card and following those steps. And once you have received that, we know you've gotten it, it has not returned undeliverable, we can then mail them their photo ID, but we will actually make a copy of that and put it with their ballot.
Okay.
Or their ATV that we did verify that they were who they said they were.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of those photo IDs?
We have probably done about 25 photo IDs, but we did a few the first day of early voting. Most of those were done prior to early voting.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. Now, Election Day, tell us, again, the polls are open what time?
They're open at 6:30 a.m.
Okay.
and close at 7:30 p.m., and that is on Tuesday, November the 7th.
Tuesday, November 7th is Election Day, but early voting continues still.
Yes.
Okay. And you'll be having your new voting machines in place.
Yes, and I'm very surprised we've only had 2 people to use our express votes, but
Really?
they thought it was very easy to use, and they enjoyed using it. One of the individuals has a hard time seeing things that are small print, and he loved the machine and said he could see it. He knew who he was voting for. It was very easy to select the candidates. And when it printed out, he was able to see that everything was who he wanted or the candidates who he chose. That's what printed out. It went into the DS200 very easily, and the process was wonderful.
It worked well.
Yes.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, it's good to know that's available too. Again, Election Day, Tuesday, November 7th, 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., and that's municipal elections in Eden, Reedsville, Madison, Mayodan, Stoneville, and Wentworth. Early voting continues at the Board of Elections office this week, next week, and then that Saturday before the election.
That is correct.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're almost out of time. Anything else we need to mention?
The only thing is please just come out and vote. This is where our elected officials actually get their start, is at the local level. Just if you want to see a change or you want things to stay the same, it's up to you to make that decision.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One of the nice things among the many resources on your website here is it lists the total number of registered voters in Rockingham County, 60,740 currently. How many Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, unaffiliated, black, white, male, female, all the stats are there. So people are interested in that, they can find it as well. And again, that's at rockinghamcountync.gov. Go to departments, Board of Elections. Just a great tool for information there about anything you need to know about Rockingham County elections.
That is correct. Or they can call us.
Yeah. The number again?
336-342-8107.
Okay. Thank you, Paula. Always good to have you here. All the best on Election Day.
Thank you so much.
Paula Seamster in our studios today, Director of the Rockingham County Board of Elections. Get out and vote.